jump in the back of the pickup truck and join us for a ride back to the good old days.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
A nostalgic podcast based on entertainment and memories from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Come with us and revisit the best time ever. So jump on your BMX bike, pop a heavy metal tape into your Walkman, and hang on tight while you go back to the past with us.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Preachers of the Night, our little Kiss sidecast we're doing. Today we're going to do something a little different. Well, it's obviously a subgenre of Kiss, and that is we're going to do Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet, his debut album with Frehley's Comet. This album was released on April 27th, 1987. Actually released on Megaforce Records, but also Atlantic, which I guess I didn't know just because I'm such a big Eddie Trunk guy that I just always put it to Megaforce, which it was produced by Eddie Kramer, Ace, and John Zazula. Everyone knows Johnny Z was the founder of Megaforce Records. And then maybe everyone doesn't know, but Eddie Trunk kind of got pulled into him as vice president in the beginning of the company just because he played a Metallica song on the radio once. And Johnny Z had told Eddie Trunk that if that band ever made it, that he would hire him to his record company. Well, they kind of made it. and then Eddie came aboard and wanted to pull Ace in, just being such a Kiss freak. And John at first was not so much in line with it because they were more of a, pretty heavy metal label. But anyway, they pulled them in and that's the story of that. But anyway, I loved this album. I have my brother Mark here with me today. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, thanks. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
So anyway, this record, I love the record too. There's not a song on it that I dislike. I remember back in 1987, me and our late brother David were living at a place called the Oxbow in Guilford, New Hampshire on Lake Winnipesaukee. And I came home and right on the table, there was a note from him. I got Ace's new record. It's awesome. I listened to it over and over back in the day, and I still listen to it. Again, don't have any songs I really don't like on it. So awesome. If you're into the number 10 song on this, doesn't mean it's a bad song in my view.
Awesome. Yeah, I was 15 and I was living in the southern western point of New Hampshire, a town called Hinsdale at the time. And this album just put a really special place in my mind. I didn't love that town per se, although I do have some great memories there, but I listened to it over and over too. I mean, any Kiss freak out there like us knows that any association with Kiss just, always sparked our interest. And of course, Ace is back, right? Which we're going to get to that. But anyway, awesome. Okay, brother. Well, I think today it's your turn for the honors. So if you want to kick off, well, I did just want to say this real quick before we kicked in, but at this point, this band was obviously Ace Frehley, Todd Howarth, vocals, rhythm, backing vocals, John Regan on bass, who, God rest his soul, passed away. It was either last year or the previous year, and good old Anton Fig, who we all know from Unmasked, Dynasty, and perhaps some other spots in there that he doesn't remember. But anyway, awesome, Mark. So let's kick off number 10 to you.
Okay. So my first one is Something Moved, actually written by Todd Haworth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a song about ghosts and God knows what else. They were all into that kind of stuff. And obviously not my favorite song on the record, but it's still pretty heavy. And I love his voice. It's very powerful, very perfect for the era.
Absolutely.
And so don't have a ton to say about that song. However, that's my number 10.
All right. Well, I'm glad you kicked off with that one because I always have the fear with you that you and I are going to have the same list. And luckily, we're not going to, because my number 10, and there's a reason for this, but my number 10, written by Ace and John Regan, which I was surprised, is Fractured 2. And I will just, say this out of the gate, and because it'll be a theme throughout. But I just am not a huge instrumental person. I need vocals in my music, and I don't know. That's why I have this at number 10. I also wanted to throw something out there that right now I live in Meredith, New Hampshire, and it is Motorcycle Week. So I apologize if everyone out there hears a Harley Davidson every 4 seconds, but I sure as hell do. But anyway, so yeah, Fractured is my number 10. So that's to you for number 9, brother.
So my number 9 song is a song called Dolls, a very cute song about Monique. Apparently she really loved dolls.
I love my dolls. You must believe me. It's plain to see. They really love me. I love my dolls. They'll never leave me happily.
And, dolls creep some people out for some reason. I guess maybe it's because it looks like they're staring at them.
They creep the fuck out of me.
But it's a really cute song, and Ace seems really almost emotional on it to me because you can tell he loves his daughter, and he lets his daughter sing, which is also something that gets to me because I sang a song with my granddaughter Fiona, and it's so adorable, and just the love we have for our children and our grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom even knew this song. She liked it, but she used to sing, "I love my dogs." But so it's a light, a more mellow song. But I'm really glad he did it. So that's 9 for me, man.
Okay, I'll go in a little more depth in that too, because I remember some stories from that as well. But number 9 for me is "Stranger in a Strange Land." I don't know why this song just never grabbed me. It is, and like I said, actually now I don't remember if I did start out like this, but we're not comparing this album to the White Album or Hotel California. It's just, we love this album, but this song to me just never clicked with me. And I mean, not that we don't go through this through the history of Ace Frehley, but the lyrics to me are just so cheap. Such cheap Ace lyrics, and just coming up with a rhyme.
I got a feeling inside, about to drive me half wild. I'm not afraid of it. Think I like the taste of it.
It's just my least favorite of his songs on this album, of his vocals, But anyway, so that's all I'll say about "Stranger in a Strange Land." So that's 8 to you, Mark.
Well, I have "Stranger in a Strange Land" for my number 8. It is very cheesy on the vocals, I admit it. And
not too tough to admit.
No, it's not too tough. But no, Ace is the only writer in this one, so
yeah.
I mean,
that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I like the rhythm and all that stuff, but it's just, it seems like a throwaway almost.
Right.
But still, I actually enjoy listening to it. If he could just take out the the choruses.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so that,
So what do I have at 8 here? I have Love Me Right. More bad lyrics in this one. This was written by Ace and Ira Schickman. And I just can't get past the "don't bite." And like you said, Mark, I mean, I loved this album. I listened to it from top to bottom. I'd usually skip Fractured too, but I love the album. I mean, like I said, it's not, I mean, actually, I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but it did hit like 47 or something on the chart. Like,
yeah, it
the
did.
album.
It
So it did chart. But
was
anyway.
just short of a gold record. It was 400,000 and change. I don't
Right.
know how close it got to. I mean, is it possible people would buy it and get it up to gold?
I mean, I'm sure that if they recertified it, it would hit gold. I don't think it'd be beyond gold, but I bet you if they
2024.
Yeah, you got to think about that. I mean, a lot of bands don't recertify their albums, and if they don't, it's whatever that last count was. I mean, you look at all the gold records Kiss has, and I guarantee you a lot more of them are platinum now, or more so if if they'd recertify it. But,
Right.
probably Gene not wanting to spend the money, but...
Well, maybe.
But anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. What's that bring us to year 7, Mark?
Yeah, and mine is "Love Me Right." I like the guitar riff at the beginning and the solo, and it is a little cheap. Again with the lyrics, he wrote it with Ira Schickman, whoever Ira Schickman is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not very good with lyrics.
Well, he didn't necessarily write the lyrics, so
Yeah. So I don't have a ton to say about that one. I mean, it's rocking enough. It's definitely guitars. So,
yep. Okay.
so anyway,
7. Let's see.
Okay.
We Got Your Rock. Ace and Marty Coppersmith. The one thing I did love about this song is I loved the solo. I really did. And something else that I want to say about this is I'm pretty sure this is the song. Hold on, because my memory's leaving me. But there's a lot of association with this song with Paul Stanley, Tommy Thayer. I want to say that the drummer of one of Paul's early bands had something to do with this song. So there's a lot of Kiss tie-ins with it, but my memory kind of left me there. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 to you.
I find the song pretty powerful. Todd Haworth's vocals are very strong. It's called "Calling to You."
Mm-hmm.
There's something moving in the air tonight. Something moving at the speed of light, and it's calling, calling, calling to you. I got a feeling running through my veins. We may never get the chance again, and it's calling, calling, calling to you. Yeah.
I was going to have it higher on the list, but after listening to it a couple more times, I'm like, you know what? I remember listening to that a lot. And again, Todd's vocals are really fun to listen to.
Yeah,
So,
they're great. And you'll see how I feel about it when my list moves forward here, because I'm just happy to see all our differences, because we're normally so in line. But all right, so number 6 to me is Dolls. I love this song.
I do too.
It just, like I said, this album holds a special place, and this one, kind of what you said earlier, Mark, about dolls creeping people out. That's kind of where this brought me into that little creepiness. But you talked about the vocals in the song through the chorus there, but that was his daughter Monique, Eddie Kramer's daughter Lara, and Anton Figg's daughter, Shay.
Oh,
So they all had a part in that. So yeah, I thought that was interesting, kind of made it a little more special. And anyway, whatever you said about it as well, just, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So as fucked up as that sounds, because there's no doubt that it's a little odd, but
it's
anyway.
definitely odd, which is kind of goes with the song itself, because it sings about how, they think that dolls are creepy, but Monique didn't think they were creepy. She didn't get it,
It just had to do with her room.
I know, but that's just what Ace sang. Don't understand why they feel so uncomfortable around my doll.
Because they're fucking creepy. All right. So number 5 to you, brother.
Okay. Unlike you, I love a good instrumental. As you know, most of my songs don't have any lyrics on them, because my lyrics, unless I get some visions inside of me, and sometimes when I wake up, I get in that twilight. The twilight where you're half awake and half asleep?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I come up with a lot of my guitar riffs, and sometimes I come up with lyrics too.
Which is probably why you don't remember half of them. It's
true.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember some of them. And this is obviously in the what's the word, AJ? The trilogy, or the Fractured series, if you will.
No, it's more than a trilogy. I think he has 4 out. But yeah.
Well, yeah. It's not as good as Fractured Mirror. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. It reminds me of a nice, pleasant, small town, a walkable community. This song it's kind of similar to it. He's playing the same note progressions in a lot of it. The D shape going up the high strings.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I love instrumentals, and this sounds like there's many different guitar parts in it, which is always something I enjoy listening to. So that's my number 5, brother.
All right. Well, my number 5 is a cover song written by Russ Ballard, one of the 2 singles released, Into the Night. And I mean, I'm sure anyone out there that's a Kiss fan knows that Russ Ballard also wrote New York Groove. And I don't know, Ace has a thing with him, but anyway, very melodic solo. And I did listen to both, and the original, and Ace definitely put his own spin on the solo, and I like it. I actually liked the original song better, but I preferred Ace's solo. I also liked the video for this. Obviously it can be a bit cheesy, but just to see the hooker or whoever she is and the bum on the sidewalk, and every time Ace pulls up in the limo or whatever the car is, and they see themselves in the mirror, and the hooker sees herself as a beautiful woman and dressed up nice, as does the bum. It's it's a little creative, and I like the video, but I like the song, but I like a few a bit more. That's all I'll say about Into the Night. So 4 to you, Mark.
Okay, I have We Got Your Rock. It's kind of an anthem. If rock and roll is what you came for, it's rock and roll you're gonna get.
Now it's rock and roll you came for. It's rock and roll you're gonna get. Yeah, 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 yeah. And we got your rock right here. We got your rock right here.
And you won't get me as easy as I'll get you. I actually like the vocals on this song. You consider it cheesy?
Well, no, it's the. I'm just
No,
interrupting you because the one line that I found wicked cheesy was the one you just sang, which was, "You won't get me as easy as I'll get you." A little cocky there, aren't you?
Well, yeah, he was pretty cocky there. But one thing I want to say about this record is the fact that I guess he was fairly clean during this whole process.
Yep. He sure was. As a matter of fact, he fell off the rails big after this album.
Well, towards the end of the tour, he was getting that way. He was falling back into it.
Which is why he had such little to do with Second Sighting, and just that's why that album was terrible. Eddie Trunk will tell you that album was terrible. You know?
That's the part I read yesterday. And so he fell off the rails again, and we know that about Ace. He's been sober for a long time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a kind of a rock and roll anthem. I like the lead. It's a great rhythm. It's heavy. So
awesome.
That's about all I got to say on that.
Okay. So my number 4, which I believe was your number 9. I fucking love this song, and it has a few special meanings to me, but it's Todd Howarth written, Something Moved, and
that was my number 10, actually.
Oh, it was, yeah. I love this song. This takes me back to a place when I was, God, I don't know, it wasn't much longer after this came out, but probably like 89, 90, we lived in Laconia, Mark. All right, I woke up in the middle of the night in my bedroom, and I saw the most scary demon-like apparition in my closet. Right? Am I using that word right? Kind of a vision.
Okay. Were you awake when you saw it?
I don't know if I was dreaming or awake, but I'll tell you, I was awake enough to fucking jump up to my feet and scream in horror at the top of my lungs.
Is that when you had that
run
night terror?
out of my room? Yeah, night terror. There's the reason. And my brother David, or our brother David, jumped out of his room and tackled me in the hallway, and was as horrified as I was by my blood-curdling scream. And, I mean, my hair's standing up right now from it. But, I don't know, that song just kind of, I don't know, had a little creepiness to it. And I love Todd Howarth. I think he fit this time and era so perfectly with everything that was going on with the infamous, as everyone says, hair metal or glam rock. But man, he had a fucking awesome voice. And
yes, he did. Very powerful.
And I love this song. I really do. But anyway, just a fun little story that this song makes me think about every time. So that we're up to the top 3, my brother.
Well, I'm a little concerned that you find that a fun story, but didn't sound
well,
too
you
much
know
fun
what I
to
mean.
me.
Interesting, I should have said.
A couple night terrors in my day, and it no.
They are not fun. I should have said interesting.
Yeah. So this song, it broke my heart not to put it at number 1, because these 3 songs to me are like 1A, 1B, 1C, but I had to pick them. This song it's got an incredibly blistering guitar solo. It's written by Richie Scarlett, Eric Carr, and Ace Frehley.
Yes, sir.
And it's called Breakout. Unfortunately, Eric Carr wanted to play drums on this, and no, Gene and Paul would not let him. And he was heartbroken about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, this is a song about a man that wants to get out of jail. He's innocent. He didn't do a damn thing. Okay? Somebody else is out there having a free life. He didn't do anything wrong.
In this cell like 7 years too long. Painful crime, but I didn't do anything wrong. Lying here right, but someone else's mistake. I come to my senses. It's time to make a break. I'm coming after you. I say our love is overdue. I'm at the breaking point. I'm gonna bust out of the door.
And he's out there punching out license plates. And,
Great fucking song.
yeah,
love
you
it.
know, Kiss did it. They did a tribute to Eric Carr, and it was basically maybe
Well, Eric
more like-
Carr did it, you mean?
Well, what, the Car Jam?
Yeah, that's Eric.
Right. I mean, but they put it on their record. Revenge is the
Right,
last
right,
song.
right. Gotcha.
But
Yep.
incredible tune. I mean, that lead. I mean, I can't say enough about that lead.
Yeah, it's great.
One of Ace's best leads of his whole career, if you ask me.
Yep.
So,
Great
so
song.
that's so.
But my number 3 is Calling to You. Jim McClarty, Ace, Kevin Russell, and Todd Howarth. And I love this song. I think out of any song on this album, it's the song that fits that era. You know, that late 80s, you know, glam rock, you know, power rock, just whatever you want to call it. I love this song. I think it's really good. And one thing about it is that band called 707, and that was Todd Howarth's band. They released it once and then changed it up a bit for this album, which I learned once again from listening to Eddie Trunk. But yeah, I think it's a great song for that time, and I just love it. But anyway,
to me, it's still a great song.
mm-hmm, absolutely. No, I get it is. I'm just saying it really fit that time, you know?
Correct. I gotcha.
So that's 2 to you, bro.
All right, my number 2 is "Into the Night," the Russ Ballard song. To me, that video was incredible. You know, you said a little cheesy in that the whole hooker looking in the mirror.
No,
Man,
I said cheesy, but that was the part I liked.
Oh, you did like? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, I like at the end where Ace here's this down and out girl, and he's showing some compassion for her. Says, "Come on." I mean, he's not actually saying, "Come on, I'll pay you some money." He wouldn't have.
I got $20 for my blowjob.
I mean, I don't think that's what he's doing. What did he? To me, the naive me. No, I think Ace is just like, "Come on,
Yeah.
we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you out here." And one of the things I really like about the song is all the. I mean, you've heard my songs, and I always have second guitars going off in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I like how he does that, and just that whole song and the whole video. It's slightly emotional to me for some reason.
Yep.
So
I
that's what
probably
I
would have
got.
had it higher too, Mark. If it wasn't a cover, I think it would have been up higher. I tend to penalize them when they're covers, but that's all.
Well, no, but when you think of New York Groove, you think Russ Ballard.
Well, no, I don't. But I get your point. All right. So let's see my number 2, and that would be Breakout. Ace, Eric Carr, Richie Scarlett, like you said. I love this song, a lot of fun. One little tidbit that I thought was funny that I don't know if this is Ace's. This was written by Ace, Eric, and in 1981, which is why they call it Car Jam 1981. But it was actually originally going to go on The Elder, or they were shooting for that. And of course, it didn't happen. So we got it on Car Jam later and here on Ace's album. But just a fun song. great, everything about it I love. I mean, just fun lyrics. But what I was going to say is the one lyric that Ace wrote in this was, "The food here sucks." And that's it. Like, that was it. So I thought it was funny, but
Are you serious? You're just making head up?
no, I'm dead serious. Like the one lyric that I mean, he wrote some of the music, I believe, back in '81. I just thought it was funny that his his contribution to the lyrics was that, and that was it. The food here sucks.
I'm sure it probably did.
Yeah, not even the second part of the verse, But anyway, all right. Well, go ahead and you can talk about this one before me.
All right, that's fine. I won't talk a ton about it, but now this one is a song about redemption. It's the debut song on the record. It's called Rock Soldiers, written by Chip Taylor and Ace. This song is okay. Yes, you guys didn't think I could do this. Paul, Gene, whoever. And this, to me, this is a bone crushing record. And this is Ace at his best. Maybe not quite as good as the solo record.
Yeah.
But not a far second though either. And
Martin Popoff actually said that, Mark. He was like, this is his best album other than his 78 album.
Right.
And he felt only because the keyboard era, like just that more poppy sound. It wasn't the more crunching guitars like typical Ace, but
well, he had a lot of crunching guitars on this record.
Yeah.
So,
but it's polished but go on. I'm sorry.
If the devil wants to play his card game now, he's going to have to play without an ace in his deck.
Oh.
When I think of how my life was spared from that near fatal wreck, if the devil wants to play his card game now, he's gonna play without an ace in his deck.
And boy, that hit home for us Ace fans back in the day. Ace is back and he told you so.
Ace is back and he told you so.
And I'll just continue where you left off because obviously it's my number one. As a Kiss fan, like I said at the beginning of this list, it's just we're tied into every aspect of Kiss. So when this came out and we heard this song and saw that video, it's when you hear Ace is back and he told you so, it was just like, yeah, you were really pumped about that. And just to reiterate on something you were saying back in the beginning, with his drinking and him sobering up for this was the reason Megaforce signed them and nobody else did at this time was they didn't have any faith in him. They were too friggin' nervous. They're like, yeah, I mean, they know it'd probably generate some money. He's the guitarist from Kiss. But they were too nervous with his drinking and drugs that nobody would take the risk. And Eddie Trunk really pushed Johnny Z for that and got him aboard, which Ace kind of let him down a year later, but or 2 years later.
As he's want to do, but,
but
he's
anyway.
sober now, and so.
Yeah, but this album, man, I just, like I keep saying, special place and awesome. Well, good. I'm glad we did it. It was one of my toughest lists yet for me.
And, as far as me, I've always been an Ace Frehley guy. I mean, I never had to put up with his drinking or anything. And again, I will never, he's been sober for how long now?
Well, he says 17. I don't know if I buy it, but.
Well, I don't know. He wouldn't be doing what he's doing at this age.
It's tough, and you hear things, and people say they know differently, and, you never know what to believe. I'm just happy that he is most of the time, if he is sober, and I just really pray that's the case, so.
I mean, I just don't see how we could pull off what he's doing at this age and be a drunk still.
Right. Well, true. I mean, also when you watch some of his playing live, you say, I don't know how he could play that bad sober. So it's, you get that way too. So it's, a bit of a catch-22 there. I mean, maybe he's just not practicing as much. Like he said, if he knew he was going to be such a huge influence on people, he would have practiced more. But
yeah,
I
know.
thought that was a great line. But Awesome, Mark. Well, let's wrap this one up and put another one in the books for Preachers of the Night.
All right. Sounds good, brother. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for listening. If anyone's out there, one thing I did want to say is, Mark and I are just big fans. Our late brother David was a huge fan. I mean, this band had a part of shaping our lives, if I may. And, we just want to share our stories and, maybe hear some of yours. But, if anyone wants to put their stories in, we'd love to hear it and maybe get some phone calls in. Because that's one thing that I really like. I love how a lot of the podcasts we listen to, they do a feedback section, and that's really a big participation piece for me. And a lot of us podcast listeners, want to be able to share our stories, which is kind of why Mark and I are doing this. But at the same time, I'd like to let people out there share them as well, because I know sometimes you're listening to these casts and you're chomping at the bit. You want to get your feelings out and whatnot. So, you can send us some emails, but I'll reiterate this and edit it down and get everyone the right one. But anyway, thank you so much for listening, and we are out.
You've been listening to Pastimes at 80s High. Our passion is the nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. When times were more simple, times were more fun.
Hey, bud, let's party.
And we weren't stuck in our phones all day.
Inconceivable!
We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, you can send an email to pastimes@80shigh@gmail.com and hit the website at pastimes@80shigh.com. See you next time.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.